To say that walking away is going to be easy, but you are breaking up with an entire viewpoint of yourself and the way you relate to other people. Hello, Capricorn. My name is Kristen Simone Hansen, and welcome to SeaGoat Secrets. Okay, so, hi. Again, I am Kristen, and I am a healer. In this video, you will get a full rundown of the Virgo Full Moon and how it affects you and all of your Capricorn placements. I begin with the astrology, and I end with a card reading. If you would like to follow along in the future, you can find these calendars that were made specifically by me for the SeaGoat Collective. And in each one, you find the information that you need for your Capricorn placements in terms of following along for each moon transit. If you would like to dive deeper into this energy with me and get a better understanding of yourself on an astrological or emotional level, join the healing circle. You can find the link here and also below in the bio. I welcome you. And last but not least, you guys know I am a global citizen and I love connecting with all of you on a worldly and global level. So per usual, drop where you're listening from in the comments. Now, let's get into this. Capricorn, 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 Capricorn. It is the Virgo full moon. This moon transit is going to be lighter than the last full moon. So the Leo full moon put you in a deep space of your shadow, and this full moon is not about your shadow, but it's about how you relate to others. So you've been learning a lot since the full moon in terms of things that you had gone through, ways in which you will no longer betray yourself as you've been moving through Aquarius season. We are now out of Aquarius season, and you are feeling in a much stronger place with yourself and your own personal power. Now, with that being said, you have to now take that new energy and apply it to your relationships. This full moon is all about how you interact and relate with other people. People close to you, people far away from you, your interpersonal relationships, things going on legally, and also things pertaining to foreign relations. So how is it that you show up in the world, and how is it that you relate to things that feel a little bit challenging to you? Things and people specifically that feel challenging to you. And the way in which this moon trines with you means that this is a very deep thing that you're addressing. So it could be a wound. Most of you, it's going to be a wound, and having to dive within that wound and come out on the other side in terms of knowing how to stand up for yourself, how to stand firm in your own energy, in your own identity, how to not allow yourself to be taken advantage of, and how to not repeat the things that have come up in your memory during that Leo full moon. The Leo full moon showed you and reminded you of so many things, and Aquarius season healed you in terms of a lot of those dynamics, and now here you are, and you don't want to betray yourself anymore. You want to relate better to others in a more successful way, but you don't necessarily know how. And because this moon trines with you so well, it is forcing you to address this. It's forcing you to look this in the face. Okay, so the good thing is we also have it with a wonderful relationship. We also have it coming in beautifully with Jupiter. So here you are with Capricorn. We have the Virgo coming in the moon, and then we have that wonderful Taurus Jupiter that's been backing you up for a while and working in your favor and granting you with luck. So the three together make it so that yes, you have to address this, yes, you have to look it in the face, but you have luck on your side. There is serendipity and the ability to prevail standing behind you. almost like, again, water pouring itself onto you. And that is good. That's what's great about this energy and this dynamic. And either way, whatever it is that you are addressing is meant to get you on the other side where you treat yourself better and then have better relationships and dynamics with other people as a result. A lot of this now is pertaining to your karma, because you are a Capricorn, so karma is a part of you, and this is the 8th year, and Aquarius is in Pluto. So everything that's going on in terms of this Virgo full moon and what it's illuminating is karmic. So you guys can be dealing with things that kind of karmic contracts. So it could be old relationships, legal situations, sibling relationships, foreign affairs. You could want to travel and desire to travel, but there's some kind of difficulty going on with it. It can be strains in terms of visas that you carry, relating to the people around you, relating to your neighbors or your siblings. These are things that are karmic, and they're there again to get you on the other side, but it's not to say that they are not coming with some kind of grief. And a part of the grief is because of the ways in which you betrayed yourself in the past are coming up to find you in terms of the difficulties that you're facing now in the present moment. The good thing in terms of this moon as well is you are getting a lot of support. A lot of people are rallying behind you. So on the positive side, you have built a lot for yourself in terms of your own identity because you've been going through this process of self-love and self-worth, and you continue to do so. So as your self-worth has increased, other people are seeing you in a really great way, but you are dealing with the karma of things that have taken place again in your past and trying to close them out. So many of you will find yourself ending relationships that no longer serve you, kind of being very straightforward and borderline cutthroat with walking away from things that do not serve you. Reaching out for assistance in order to stand up for yourself in various situations. You're really addressing the way in which you relate to other people. So karmically, belief systems that you've had for a very long time, especially all throughout the Pluto and Capricorn transit. So what did you learn to believe about yourself? What has challenged you during that transit? It's important to look at patterns. So during that 15-year window, there were different things that you kept going through over and over again. Obviously, because the Pluto transit was there to refine your identity, but there were things happening on the outside of you with your human relationships. Again, watch that self-betrayal video. Watch the self-betrayal video and revisit this video and see how that's exactly what it is that you have to address during this moon transit. How have you been challenged socially? And it's ending those beliefs in terms of your social challenges, in terms of the ways in which you feel powerless or that your freedom is under compromise. Things that stand in the way of your belief systems about travel or being able to feel at home or stationary somewhere. Feelings that things are going to oppose you, again, based on what you saw in that video. What is going against you? So you're ending these belief systems that are a part of why you've betrayed yourself or the ways in which other people have challenged you outside of yourself. You're having to learn how to shift the narrative, not only on the outside, but shifting the narrative within. You're breaking down subconscious beliefs that have followed you for a very long time and therefore ending patterns that have played out for a very long time. That's not to say that it's going to be easy, but it is going to be seamless in terms of how it shows up. So it can be seamless for some of you. It can be seamless in terms of you being able to end the relationship, end the conflict, expand your horizons, go on that trip, finally do the thing that you've always wanted to do, finally feel the way you've always wanted to feel. You're stable, you're grounded, and it is just that simple. For others of you, it's a little bit more complicated depending on what it is that your karma is and what it is that you have to address. It could be issues that are a little bit more scary, a little bit more intimidating that you have to face, address, and get on the other side of. But this point in terms of the end goal, especially at the end of February, is you're going to find yourself in a space where you're feeling more grounded. You're ending that karmic cycle of what was taking place with the Aries Aries Chiron transit since 2019, pertaining to feeling at home and feeling like you are safe somewhere, feeling like you're accepted somewhere. So these things are coming to a close, and you're finding that happening at the end of February and moving into March, where you're no longer looking to be challenged in terms of what stability means to you, and you don't want anyone to challenge what being at home, either with yourself or being at home anywhere or around you, is. In other words, in simple terms, it's ending the belief system that other things outside of yourself can rupture what it is that you desire in terms of expanding your horizons or feeling at home with yourself. And this all, again, begins within the things that you believe within your own sense of identity. Another thing as well is facing the trauma with how you relate to others can also find many of you guys opening yourself up, gaining more connections, opening your eyes to how people might love you or value you, support you, and see you. You guys are looking for support. So for this next 2 weeks, you are going to be ending connections that do not serve, walking away from things that are painful or going against you, and then walking toward the other side where you are finally being put in positions where you are no longer dealing with the shadow tied to self-betrayal and whatever self-betrayal has put in your dynamics or in your situations. It's a lot of confidence that is coming out of you, which is great, but keep in mind, with Virgo being in your 9th house, a lot of things can happen in terms of your own negativity. So idealism is important when we're looking at Sagittarius, allowing yourself to think in a way that is grand and positive and idealistic, allowing luck to find you, especially with the Taurus and Jupiter transit. If you get too rooted in negative thinking, or you allow yourself to become too fear-based, you can ultimately put yourself in a much more difficult position than where it is that you already are. It's having to look at the brighter side of even the darkest side of the coin when it comes to this moon. Between, I would say, nearing the end of the month, between the dates, nearing the end of the month, between the dates of the 24th to about the 30th, be aware of interactions and dynamics you are having around contracts. So it could be signing contracts that would work in your favor, again, legal situations, different things that you need to do that would help you defend yourself and or protect yourself. Or it could be something that is a surprise that you did not expect to have to do, but here it is, and it's showing itself to you in order to get you to the next step. Overall, during this moon, you guys are addressing fears, and you're addressing the ways in which that self-betrayal through the Aquarius illumination, those things that have haunted you, the things you're the most afraid of, are coming to find you to expand the way that you see yourself and expand the fears you have tied around these things to help you get on the other side in a much more beautiful and graceful way. It's working in your favor in a positive way, and it's about showing you and illuminating to you that that karma is ended, and getting you on the other side to making it so that you face your fears. What's important during this time, I would say, if things feel out of your control, or if there are in fact conflicts that are finding you, leaning on your work and your finances is a great response to things that you feel like you cannot control. As I say all the time, control what it is that you can control, okay? So there's a lot of luck happening in terms of your money and your finances still, and it's going to stay there. It's working in your favor. Water is being poured into you in terms of your finances and your career. So where there might be difficulties tied to the way in which you relate to others, there's a lot of movement happening in the way in which you create and generate for yourself financially. So leaning into that in order to practice self-control and grow in that department is going to be a great way to respond to anything that feels painful or difficult, like the end of a relationship, or having to face the shadow of, again, the way in which you relate to other people coming up and finding you. Pouring into yourself career-wise and finance-wise is going to really work in your favor, and it leads you into March, which is a wonderful time in terms of growth in money, career, and finances. So nonetheless, that's what I have for the astrology. Let's get into the reading now.
It's in reverse.
Get a good composition going. Hello, Capricorn. So this is what we've got going on for this full moon, this Virgo full moon. I know you guys see that big Three of Swords sitting there. But before you get nervous, I don't know if I'm speaking to you or my own Capricorn placements. Underneath that, we have the Temperance and the beautiful star. So our main subject, our first card that came out was the Eight of Cups, and the Eight of Cups was accompanied by the Three of Swords. Some of you off the bat are going through a breakup. I'll just let you know that right now. This is a breakup. This is a separation in order to make healthier choices. Okay? You're walking away, and it doesn't necessarily mean you're the happiest in terms of walking away, but there is a separation and a breakup and an ending that, yes, causes you grief, causes you pain, causes you separation, anxiety, difficulty, pain, but it's to make a healthier choice. And underneath that is great healing. The empath narcissist paradigm. Many of you are dealing with the empath narcissist paradigm in whatever situations that you are part of. Now, I've talked about this before, and a lot of the karma that Capricorn placements were experiencing during the Pluto transit is a part of the empath narcissist paradigm. And a part of the reason why is because of the way in which Pluto is transiting your sign. This is specific for especially Capricorn Sun, but Capricorn placements in general. You guys were made to grow. And so because you were made to grow, dealing with some of the most difficult types of people, the most traumatic situations, the most traumatic relationships, was the only way that you could really expand. These are the painful things that you had to go through in order to get to the other side. That is why so many of you, especially those of you who are drawn to this, are on the empathic either side, on the empathic spectrum, or just empaths yourselves. Many of you relate to that energy because of how it is that Pluto set you up, being born into narcissistic systems, having to face narcissistic systems, etc. With all the karma going on with this Virgo full moon, and how, again, the illumination that took place in the last full moon, this full moon now has you addressing those relationships. So the Leo full moon had you in your own closet and awakening you to the past and the pains and the traumas and the patterns. And the Virgo full moon has you actually physically in the process of manifesting the solutions or the end of these things. So that is where many of you guys are walking away from certain connections and dynamics. This is an energy. So regardless of how it shows up, it could be a job, it could be a person, it can be multiple people, it can be a situation. Either way, it is about you putting an end and putting a close to this karma. And the karma is you being stuck in this paradigm. The paradigm of being used, of being abused, and having to enable boundaries, and having to go through the process of some kind of, again, abusive trauma, where you're being taken advantage of. I've talked about in the past, bullying, etc. You're putting an end to it and making healthier choices due to the newfound self-love, self-care, self-awareness that you have. It is not to say that walking away is going to be easy, but you are breaking up with an entire viewpoint of yourself and the way you relate to other people. You're breaking up with an entire ideology wrapped around, not even just one ideology, multiple ideologies wrapped around your relations and your human connections with other people and what's capable or possible for you. And we have these two beautiful healing modalities coming in as you're going through this process. What does it mean to walk away from the pattern, to end the karma, and then coming in with this beautiful water in order to heal you and bring you back this hope of this understanding that it is in fact going to be okay. There is great hope here in terms of where it is that you are moving in terms of your forward movement, along with this temperance that's coming in and asking you to have balance, again, giving water. And it's the temperance in itself is a Sagittarius card, and the Virgo full moon is happening in your 9th house. What does it mean to give balance to your relationships, give balance to your connections, where it is that you want to be and how it is that you want to go about yourself, and pouring water into that movement, pouring water into your perspectives about yourself and what it is that you deserve, your own insecurities. Again, pouring water, right? With how allowing the water to heal you in order to get out of this paradigm. A lot of fears tied around what you can do, what you're capable of, who you can be around, where you can move, how you connect and relate to other people. So yeah, you're breaking up and you're separating with patterns tied to individuals, but this can also result in you being able to connect with other people as well. You'll be surprised how you can end up in a situation where you disconnect from one thing or one ideology and you break that pattern, and all of a sudden all of these new people, or even the same person, can come in and pour beautiful water into you in terms of wanting to connect with you. So next to that we have, well, let's address the shadow. Shall we? We've got the Four of Pentacles in reverse. We got the Two of Wands upright, and we've got, what is this? The Five of Swords in reverse. So overall, you are fearful about what it is that's happening around you. Fearful that you will be put in a position where you cannot practice self-preservation. You're fearful of your inability to fight and someone else or something else being able to push forward movement in your life. You're afraid of movement happening against your own will, afraid of the movement happening in terms of your own ability to want to keep whatever it is that you have to yourself. Four of Pentacles is a Capricorn card. Self-preservation, self-protection. You're afraid or are addressing or dealing with, or feel you are dealing with something that is taking you out of your own comfort zone, taking away your resources, taking away your own stability, your own ability to have what it is that you need. And you're afraid of that. You're afraid of similar to what I was saying before, the ground being ripped from underneath you, or something happening that goes against what it is that you want for yourself, your own clarity, your own peace, your own comforts. And that is what it is that's running through your mind, afraid of your ability to fight for what it is that you want and prevail. And that is what's going on in your subconscious mind. But here we have, with your healing advice, what you want wants you. That is one of my favorite cards, hands down. What you want wants you. We have After the Storm, and we have Going Beyond Normal. And what is so great, the Going Beyond Normal card is an Aquarius card for me, so that's double confirmation with the star and Going Beyond Normal coming in with Aqua. What you want wants you is a water card for me, and so again, more movement in terms of water, more what you give out comes back in, following the current, right? That back and forth to push something forward and to bring it back in. Everything about this moon feels like giving yourself grace, feeding yourself with healing, feeding yourself with water. You're going to have to be in a healing energy in order to self-preserve during this time. It's understanding that your life is not the way that it once was. You have to do things differently than you've done them in the past in order to break up and separate with the old way. It's requiring you to take a new path, to be individualistic in your approach, and that's where your healing comes from with these two Aquarius cards. Beautifully, what you want wants you. Understand that you can have what it is that you desire, because what you want wants you too. Some of you have belief systems that you can't have what it is that you want. And it could have been the pattern, the karma that you were dealing with throughout the 15-year transit of not being able to get what it is that you want. You build something, it gets teared down. You try to create something, it doesn't work. You try to build some kind of partnership or connection, it falls through. So it's moving past that belief system, ending that pattern, and understanding that what it is that you desire the most also desires you, because after the storm is the greatest revelation in terms of understanding that it's over. So that karma, that pattern, that feeling that showed up in many different ways, in many different situations. It showed up at work, it showed up in relationships, it showed up with people, it showed up. That pattern has ended, and it's ending, and it's ending. And you're going to be put in a situation where you have to end something. You have to walk away from something. You have to break up with something in order to bring about healing and getting what it is that you want and ending this dynamic. Let's look at your healing points. And also, I will say, so at the bottom of the deck, in terms of your healing points, came out the Bastet of 174 hertz. So I'll read this one as well, as it came out at the bottom. But I'll start with these two here. Theta of Venus is one of my favorites in terms of being able to understand, again, water. And this card in general is a water card for me. So here we have, again, water, water. And I want you guys to look at this. Water, 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 and water. And all of these come in a way that is so progressive in terms of healing and movement. She's allowing herself to be preserved through the water. Similar art taking place in this case. Flowing, movement, flowing of the hair, of the energy. It's going with the flow of the energy. There's a lot of quiet, healing energy taking place. Almost like allowing yourself to move with the current. What it is that you want wants you. Theta of Venus, attune yourself to higher consciousness by choosing to access the purest frequencies of love within. Acknowledge lower frequencies such as judgment, fear, doubt. What it is that you want wants you. Fear, doubt, or shame when they arise within or around you, but do not give them a foothold on your heart. You are ready for higher understanding to see things in a new and more positive light, allowing your inner knowing to guide you on a unique, beautiful, and highly spiritual path. Things are different. Things are new. The storm is over. The storm, after the storm, brings about a new beginning. You're addressing your fears and your doubts and your worries and your fear and your trauma tied to this separation, tied to this heartbreak, tied to these things. But it's because it's time to bring about a new energy. And you are having to heal yourself. Be very quiet throughout this transit. Allow yourself to move very slowly. Control what you can control. Put yourself in a very introspective space. Be ready to heal yourself. Practice a lot of, depending on the difficulties of what it is that you're going through, practice a lot of meditations and allowing yourself to kind of hold on to the calm that goes within you. Because it's the way in which you move through these heightened emotional energies without losing your footing. You're letting go of judgment, fear, doubt, and shame. And you're moving into a higher understanding that what it is that you want wants you. Life is now requiring you to be different than it was. There is great healing here, calm energy here in order to move you through this so you make healthier choices, because now you are post the storm. The storm is ended. The storm is over. So what will you do? Allow your inner knowing to guide you on a unique and beautiful, highly spiritual path. Let's do the Queen of Nagas now. This for me is my Queen of Pentacles as well. This is an earth card for me. A sacred task exists for you to fulfill. It is to be found through your connection to your heart. Be open only to the most authentic teachings which prove helpful to your continued spiritual progress and personal freedom. Feeling. I don't know why I wanted to say feeling, but I'm going to say feeling. It says freedom. Progress and personal freedom is what it says, but I'll say feeling. Cleansing your body, mind, heart, and soul will be of particular benefit at this time. Powerful, subtle energies are helping ensure your success. Believe that many possible, I don't know why I want to say possible, but it reads positive, synchronicities and unexpected allies will rally to support you. Believe that many positive possible synchronicities is what rolled off my tongue. And unexpected allies will support you. So a part of the movement that happens in this case, and remember I mentioned earlier that although you are having to walk away and you're going through this separation, you're going through this breakup and you're addressing this grief, new things are coming to find you. New people are coming to find you. There's a lot of positivity with this moon. It comes with, again, it's interesting how the light moving through this, there's a lot of divinity moving through this energy, and yet and still it's It's about addressing grief and addressing trauma or karma, different things like that. But there's so much light energy here. There's so much positive movement forward, as if the grief is simply just the grief. But the healing energy is more powerful, or the light is more powerful than the dark in this case. The light is more powerful than the dark in this case. That's amazing. We'll read Bastet. You've been moving so fast for so... Wow. You've been moving so fast for so long that you're not realizing how wound up you've become. Gently unwind now to drop into a deeper, slower, healing rhythm. And you will restore your body, mind, and soul. Yeah. Restoration. That's what this whole thing is about. Restoration. Things which seem too difficult right now shall soon seem manageable and even pleasurable to accomplish. Yeah. And this is an earth card for me as well. Restoration. This moon is asking you to address restoration. It's multiple, it's two energies in one span of this 2-week process. It is addressing grief, and it is addressing pain, and it is addressing karma, but ending it, walking away from it, separating from it, and finding the great healing on the other side. And it's like you've been in this space where you've been so wound up and stressed and all of these things for so long, and it's like, and here we have the other side happening right in the moment. This ends now in this case. It's no longer basically this wound up, overwhelmed, stressed, scared energy ends during this time period. That's what you're addressing. It's much easier to move through. It's much easier to move through. It's much more simple. Ending the old, moving into the new, and unexpected allies will support you. The storm is over. There is nothing really to fear here. Just move forward with it. Just move toward it. Keep walking, basically. Just keep walking. Keep your energy light and keep walking. Keep yourself illuminated. And you'll get out on the other side. Because it's the end of karma, basically. That's beautiful. Let's see if we've got any more. Anything else that wants to be said here? What do you hold on to? What do you need to be aware of? What do you hold on to? The freaking sun. What do you hold on to is the sun. What do you need to be aware of is the King of Pentacles. So for some of you, this could be an individual of the King of Pentacles. But what it is that you hold on to is the sun. The sun. This is going to work out great. Whatever it is, it's going to work out great. There is major illumination here. Major, beautiful light. And yeah, be aware of the King of Pentacles. So again, this can be a person that represents the King of Pentacles, a perspective, but also your value systems. Your values. The King of Pentacles is you. Be aware of your values. Be aware of your energy. Be aware of your What is that word that wants to come out? Perspective, proposition, and purpose. Be aware of yourself. And the sun is on your side. And you can't get any greater than that. And in terms of being aware, that's not even something to fear. That's being aware of you, moving through this as you, with full abundance in terms of your self-acknowledgement and the awareness of who you are and how you show up in the situation is exactly what will work in your favor here. That's exactly where you want to be. Be aware of yourself. So self-insecurity is not going to serve you. A lack of self-awareness is not going to serve you. And if you think you are small, you are wrong. Move through the situation with a strong sense of your own abundance and the authority of that abundance, and then you will prevail. If you do anything other than that, then you will fail. And like I said, the Queen of Nagas is the Queen of Pentacles for me. I love you. I love you so much. I love you. Oh, okay. Let's do this. Ciao.